Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm MNF, the artist. Now, if you saw my video last week with Rob Liefeld, this is kind of in the same vein, right? I'm talking about creators who, for some reason, people dislike. And with Rob, I could kind of see because of his attitude, his bravado. But with Eric July, I kind of know, but I don't know, right? So we're gonna break this down, and I'm gonna show you some picture. We're gonna shrink it up here. I'm gonna go through some stuff. We're gonna look at it together because it's amazing to me how much hate there is on in the comic book industry side, especially the indie side. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in, interested in this video. Please consider shaking, liking, and subscribing. And if you're also a subscriber and are like, wow, he's putting out videos again, thank you. Yes, we are. I'm still gonna do the superhero stuff, and we're gonna update those as we go along. We're gonna get in this little, hopefully in a nice schedule of uploading and putting videos up. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at why maybe people dislike Eric July. So yeah, let's go. All right, so here with Eric, he put up a video 3 months ago, the Rippaverse sucks. And I guess he goes through the motions of why people think that I guess he's trying to say, this is why people say my stuff sucks. So I guess let me see what happens if I put full screen here. Okay, so let's go through this video real quick and see what he's saying, right? Let's see.
Verse. Maybe you think the books suck. That's fine. We're not entitled to your money or support. Maybe you picked up ISOM #1 out of curiosity but didn't vibe with it. Maybe you gave ISOM #2 a shot and decided to check out. That's fair. That said, we released a lot of books since then. Maybe you thought my writing was...
Yeah, so I guess he's trying to address the diversity of his company, right? How much he's offering, right? So let's see.
But the artwork wasn't your thing, even though we had an industry pro like Cliff Richards who's worked on Wonder Woman and Shazam. Maybe
that, see, okay, as far as what he's offering, for me, nothing has clicked yet, right? I did do of the villain that he has for ISOM. I did enter that contest. I didn't even get put on the board because it was fun, right? But ISOM is probably the closest thing that he's ever done that made me want to go, oh, maybe I'll check that out. Right now, for me, his company, and if anybody here watching remembers the 90s, Valiant had great stories, but 90% of Valiant art was compared to the exciting art that Marvel and Image were putting out at the time. And so Valiant was not something that we would gravitate to. That's what I kind of feel about Rippaverse right now.
it wasn't the art at all. Maybe the genre just didn't click with you. Well, there's other books out there that I wrote. I wrote a detective noir story called Salvage PI and representing issue #1, illustrated by Bart Sears, a legend who's worked on Justice League Europe.
Now, him getting Bart is a big deal. Bart has always been one of my favorite artists from the 90s. His anatomy work is crazy. His attention to detail is insane. You're never gonna get a bad Bart Sears book. At least I've never seen it. So at least he's getting that. And I think what he's doing the Dark Horse route, right? He's breaking it up. I think they're a shared universe, but I'm not sure if everything in his Rippaverse is gonna be under that umbrella is gonna be like in the shared universe. I guess I'm not sure how that works out, but that's also part of the reason why, you know, maybe some people don't pick it up is because the ambiguity of what's what, right? Because everything wants to be a verse, a universe, right? Rippaverse, things like that. So I'm not, you know.
So Manowar and Legends of the Dark Knight. Then,
yeah, Sears did do Manowar.
I wrote Sears investigator story, but with a more modern film fatale feel, and that's illustrated by the great Kanan White. These are completely different.
And I remember that particular one because on Twitter there were, and I'm not gonna mention anyone here by name. It's not my intentions. But I'm gonna talk about what I've heard people say that have prominent followings in the indie space. They tear apart the art, right? And in one instance, in that book in particular, I remember they had broken up a panel and they were like, this is so wrong, it's trash, this should have done this. Now, mind you, the fix that they did on the perspective of the particular panel in question was better than what was presented, but what was presented also wasn't bad, right? So also now we're tearing down artists, right? Like, I would have hated for Jim Valentino to be doing art today, right? Because it would be like probably ripped apart. He wasn't the most like exciting artist, but you know, he was good enough. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I don't like that we're going around and changing people's art. We can always have an opinion, because when you put your stuff out there, it opens up for opinion. But to break it down to the point of insulting, it's kind of crazy.
Different style, different tones, different vibes, but maybe you just don't like me as a writer. That's cool. Maybe you prefer a seasoned veteran writer leading the charge. That's why we brought in Chuck Dixon, co-creator of Bane, one of the most respected.
Chuck is great. And again, I'm watching YouTube channels like, oh, you know, they got all the people that Marvel and DC don't want anymore, people who are not working there anymore. You don't like Eric Jalai's writing. He gets established writers to write his stuff, and he gets great artists to now start doing his books because he can afford to. And we still say that's not good enough, right? I don't understand. Just let the man be. You don't like his book? Why? You know, I think I know why. But
writers in the industry known for Batman, The Punisher, top team operating under Flores Park's law enforcement. But let's say you don't care for Alpha Core. Maybe
that one, when he announced Alpha Core, I thought, hey, maybe I'll get into that. But again, for me, it just fell short. I was like, I'll pass.
Because I created them. Then there's The Horseman, Welcome to Flores Park, which is a gritty street-level vigilante story, and that's written by Chuck Dixon and illustrated by Joe Bennett. But that's their creation. Or maybe you want something more grounded, no powers, just sheer intelligence.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that The Horseman was not his creation for the Rippaverse. It's part, like Chuck and Bennett did that. It's an interesting premise. It's basically Punisher in an armor suit, like Batman Punisher sort of thing. Could be interesting.
That's where Gooding the Polymath comes in, and that's written by Mike Barron, the creator of Nexus and The Badger, and illustrated by Will Conrad, whose work includes Justice League, Wolverine, and Black Panther. Gooding is a tech creative voice. That's where Jen and Sylvia Saska come in.
Now the Saska sisters, it's crazy how they get a lot of hate. They get a lot of hate. But he did the right thing, right? Because if you're going to have a female book, and then a man would have been writing it, you would have got those complaints. You get sisters that are in the game, and you get mad at them also, right?
Writers, and they wrote Black Widow, No Restraints Play. They're handling Yaira, our most popular female character, but maybe superheroes aren't your thing, so you're looking for something else, like Bloodruth #1, a full-blown horror story. Again,
that is well illustrated. I know there was a controversy about the way the page was like laid out. It didn't read well, and you know, people were upset that he didn't fix it. But he's new, right? He's gonna do, you know, things are gonna happen. But the overall art in these books, especially this book, it's not bad. I don't know anything about Bloodruth.
From the Saska sisters, and they specialize in that. It follows the Blood Witch, Sydney Bloodruth. Maybe you want something, though, a little more out there. A sci-fi, ragtag, crew adventure. That's across multiple creative teams. The Rippaverse is all...
So I guess we got that, right? I think we got enough of what he's trying to do. I don't know if there's something... Let me move myself. We want to get to that one behind in a minute. Let's move myself up here. And then let's go here and see what's going on there. But again,
and Mark Pellegrini, a superhero series with this manga-inspired style that absolutely exploded in Japan, which is a major accomplishment. There's also Soul Finder by Doug Ernst, which is this like supernatural kind of thriller.
I guess this is like that other Ripper project
battling demonic forces. You got Arcathena by Eric Canetti, a sci-fi superhero series. And that's not it. You can go check out the other iconic titles as well, and I'm sure you'll love it. Then there's Irene Strakowski. She's an indie powerhouse known for Fiendish and Dark Fantasy.
I mean, we can't blame the man for trying, right? We always say, man, if I had the money or the whatever, I would do XXX. And he's doing it, right? So let him do it, right? You don't have to agree with whatever it is. For me, is the old adage: you don't like the show, change the channel. You don't like the book, don't read it. You don't have to purchase it. Bringing him, let other people that enjoy that stuff enjoy it, right? Making fun of, and listen, and not to be a bully, but 90% of the people that I see making fun of him shouldn't be making fun of him. They're not in that seat. Outside from this mic and camera, those guys and girls wouldn't say that to his face. Wouldn't say that to anyone's face. I can see it. I know those people. I can see it. Socially awkward, never did anything really. You can just see it, right? And it's unfortunate because you don't have to be that way. You can just do your own thing, but you found that you have a safety net behind the camera, and you can take out your anger of society out on other people who are doing the very thing that you want to do. And that's what it seems like. Like, why make a channel that just rips on everything of your own childhood, right? Yet the things weren't good, and you can say that. But every single video that I see of various channels is just how much they hate what they grew up with and how bad it was. Once in the blue moon, they'll say something is good, but they'll find something bad in it, right? I don't get it.
Fantasy adventure that's shared a lot about Phenomenova, and that's a young career. Phil Diaz is still
There's a lot of high quality stuff
as
as far as art. I don't know what the stories are, to be honest with you. I don't know what the stories are, and I think his hate comes from his stance on like politics. Because I remember Eric July before the Rippaverse and any of that happened, and he rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like his personality. Like, I didn't like the way he would come off. I didn't like the way he was always like trying to rip DC and Marvel for their wokeness. Whether or not I agreed with his point, how he was coming across was crazy. Like, yes, I don't agree in general with derivative characters. And saying be inclusive of a minority is not to make a derivative character. Make something new. So I didn't like when they would, turn, this person that, or that person this, and that person. No, just create something new, something to relate to, right? And if you're gonna make a derivative, make them so different that it's like, kind of like Miles Morales, right? Miles Morales is Spider-Man, but the suit, the point of view is so different that it almost feels like a whole different character, right? She-Hulk is She-Hulk. All pretty much every other Spider variant is the same thing, barring a few that stand out. If you make enough, some of them are going to stand out, right? Venom being a derivative was great, right? Carnage being a derivative of Venom, it's just Venom angrier, right? But again, for me, derivative characters never work. I support LGBTQ, whatever, I forget the acronym. I've supported, and bought independent books with new characters in that space. I would. Why not? If I didn't like it, I didn't. There was one, Saren, I think it was called. I think I bought the whole miniseries. It was cool. New character in that space. I supported it. It's new, right? This is new. But I know that his political stance and things that he has said before the Rippaverse rubbed many people the wrong way, including myself. But again, I am man enough and grown enough to see what he's trying to do. And if I don't want anything to do with him, I just won't buy his stuff. I won't watch his channel. I'm doing this video because it just makes me laugh at how ignorant some people can be. Like, this is how you will take care of this. But anyway, so here we are with the Patriot. Now, the Golden Patriot is off. I think it's off the Rippaverse. This is the Ripper right? So they are up to 90,000, 3,300 books sold, 90% sales goal already reached. It ends in July. They're going to reach that. They're going to get another 10,000. That's crazy. Think about this. This is a book that's basically a Power Ranger. And I think this is by the Yellow Flash. I think is his name, right? I know I'm probably getting that wrong. I watch his channel once in a while. And also another thing, I can watch other people's channels. Even when I always find value in, even if I don't always agree with your points of view. Maybe you have a title that catches me and I go, let me see what they gotta say. It is what it is. But okay, so for me, once I get here, and I'm gonna be brutally honest, if I were in a comic book shop in the 90s and I came as a kid upon this book, that cover will probably make me pick it up. This will make me put it down. Right? This will make me put it down. I'm being honest. But I'm not going to rip it apart and say how bad it is. It's just not for me. But for people of 3,300 people, this was good enough for them. And great. They get to enjoy it. I don't have to. And I also don't have to buy it to then rip it apart. You see what I'm saying? I can buy it to review it and give you an honest opinion that is not negative towards the creator because I don't like them, right? If that was what the space I was in of reviewing comic books, art, story, presentation, quality of the book, things like that. But I'm not right now. Right now, I'm not. But for 3,300 plus people, it satisfied them. It satisfied them. So why should we look down on those people? We shouldn't. It's not for you. It's for them. Obviously, this book was for them. And like I said, I just don't understand the hate on creators in general.
The year is 1945.
And these are great little like animatics.
World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River.
Again,
even now,
is not my art style.
Clash between freedom
so
and tyranny
this book is not for me.
Is about to boil over.
But it's for the
somewhere in North Africa.
Are purchasing it.
2 American flyboys are sold with the occult.
And it's cool, man. Like, I'm glad that they got a new character out there, the Golden Patriot, and that this is gonna live on into something hopefully better and better and better. I want to see it get better and better and better. I don't want to see it fail, because it's like the better that Rippaverse does, the better other indies do, because people are more accepting of it, right? And that's what we should be looking at. And I really don't understand this culture now on YouTube about tearing down people and making fun of them when they haven't looked in the mirror harder or long enough. They got caught in an echo chamber and they feel good about themselves. They got 20,000 subscribers, they got 30,000 subscribers, they get 5,000 views a video, and they're like, yes, I am somebody because I tear down these people. That sounds crazy to me. I wish it wasn't that way. I like all. I would try, you know, all of them. I really, for me, the price points on a lot of these are not in my budget. So for me, a floppy off the newsstand, you know, off the direct market is more for me. So I'm hoping that one day I can also be in this space, like, you know, put out something through crowdfunding, because, you know, that's the only way that I would probably be able to get something out. But I am millions of miles away from ever getting there, if ever. But for now, in this channel, I will keep putting up my new characters, making videos like this, speaking on new things that come out in comic books, supporting all comic book formats, whether it's the big 3 and every single little, you know, small independent creator. And if you know of any of them, link it in the description down below, in the comments down below, and, you know, I'll try to maybe, you know, do some, you know, videos on them and get the word out there, because I think everybody deserves this kind of success, whether you agree with what's going on with him as a creator and as a, you know, his political stances. Every creator deserves their idea, as long as there's no hatred in the material towards a specific group or minority, I think, or in people in general. I think that we should, you know, support it. Anyway, let me know down below, what do you think? Yeah, this is a crazy time to be alive with indie comic books. It's just wow. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.